wanted to show you the technique I use to teach kids how to count money. I've developed it over the years, and I think it is about as surefire of a way to count money for special needs kids as possible. I really should copyright it and make $1 billion, but I'll put that to the side. Anyways, so in order for your child to be able to do this, and all of your kids can, they have to be able to identify coins, so recognize their differences and know how much they're worth. So they should know that a penny is 1 in brown, a nickel is 5, a dime is 10, a quarter is 25. And we just focus on coins right now. So I am going to show you everything that they will need to do this. Typically, I give them a worksheet. I am going to email it to you or email it to them. So we're not sending home all this paper, but the worksheets look like this. It has the coins on there. And what I do is I print them larger so the coin can actually fit on top. Like this is a penny. The pennies can actually fit on top of the coins, so they can put it on top, which is that's the first step to do it. They will also need their fake money that I have sent. I've sent this wet marker, this Expo marker. Some students like it and some students don't need it. So don't feel like you have to force it if they're doing fine. But if you notice, they're getting a little bit confused, then they definitely prompt them to use this. I have sent this cheat sheet that shows our strategies with the coins, and I'm going to go through all of this. And they will need their money mat, and it is laminated, and it should look like this. And the 25, 50, 75, and $1 are circled with the yellow and blue lines. Also, if they are going to use the Expo marker, they will need a napkin that is wet and a napkin that is dry. So it's kind of a lot going on, but they'll get the hang of it. So let's do it. First, I'm going to start with pennies because that's the easiest. If you can see here, our guide for pennies is just the arrow. That means pennies just go, what's next? So first thing, they're going to pour all their money out on the table, and you want them to go ahead and sort it. This is a good skill just to make sure. Pennies are pretty easy because they're all brown, but sometimes they could get the quarters and the nickels mixed up, and you want to make sure that they can sort these as needed. It's not a big deal if they're not in order, like pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, but I do want them to make sure they're separated. And even when they're working to keep them separated, I want to make sure they're all on the screen. Okay, and they'll need their mat. And here, let me see if I can back you up a little bit. There we go. All right, you won't see the coins. All right, we'll leave it like that. Nobody move. And the guide can just be somewhere near if they need to see it. And they'll have their worksheet. So again, we're going to start with the pennies. So here I have 4 pennies. Typically, once they realize this is just one, they can go 1, 2, 3, 4, write down 4 cent. Make sure they have the cent sign. Hey, I just wanted to interject something really quickly. Yes, your child can just count by ones for the pennies, but it's also very important that they take the coin and put it on the mat. So they know the strategy of putting it on the mat, because when it goes to counting nickels or counting dimes or counting mixed coins, I don't want them to have nickels, pennies, and dimes and just go 1, 2, 3, 4 and count by ones, if that makes sense. So after they are secure in the strategy of putting it on the mat and they understand that a penny is 1, then they can just simply count up. But the strategy is to take the actual coin, put it on top of the coin. Some kids like to match sides. It really doesn't matter. They put it there, and this just makes sure that they're including every single coin in the problem. Sometimes the kids would just do it and not realize that, they didn't come to this next line. So here we have 4 cent. And with pennies, that's 1, so they start at 1. Let's get that over. And 2, 3, 4. I'm finished. It's 4 cents. I write on that. Pretty easy with pennies. All right, so now I'm going to go to nickels, and you can see here that I have a sheet full of nickels. So this is the order that I teach it. I teach counting pennies. Once that's done, then we do counting nickels. And I'm going to put the nickels on top of their coin, like this. And the strategy for nickels, I want to make sure it's in the frame, is yellow, blue, yellow, blue, yellow, blue. So they just go back and forth between yellow and blue. That is our strategy. And you can see on here, there's the yellow, there's the blue. So we go yellow, blue, yellow, blue, yellow, blue, yellow, blue. And this is how they do this. Many kids, this is very easy. And they say, oh, 45 cents, write down 45. Now, some kids, here's where the marker might be good to come in. So we have our coins. We're going to do yellow. So that means I've done all of these. Blue. I've done all of these. Yellow. And you just keep going until you finish. And this one's 45. Once you're done, you just take these off. You can push them to the side, and then you use your wet napkin to wipe it off, and your dry napkin to dry it. And that is it. So, counting pennies, simple. Counting nickels, simple. Now getting a little bit harder, counting pennies and nickels. So I'm going to show you with this one. So we're counting nickels. Oh, let me scoot it over so you can see. And I'm going to use my Expo marker so I can show you why, even clearer why I use the Expo marker with some kids. And they put the coin down, then they draw the line. Try not to have them draw the line first and then put the coin down. So first they need to put the coin, then draw the line. Put the coin, then draw the line. So I like to draw the lines because, oh, now it's penny. They know what's next. And they know that this is 1. So they might be tempted to go here and put it on 1, but they're like, oh, this is crossed out. So I'm supposed to do 50. What's after 50? 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. My answer is 55, and you would write it right there. And that is how you count nickels and pennies. All right, so let's keep going. So now with dimes, so we've done our pennies, we've done our nickels, and now we're going dimes. Dimes, there's an arrow. That's because dimes go down. Like with the D, my camera's upside down, so I don't know if you can see that. But like with the D, dimes go down. So here we have 4 dimes, and this is pretty easy. We have our 4 dimes. We know that dimes are 10 cents, so because we're starting with the dime, we're going to start with 10. And again, they can draw the lines if they want to. They don't have to. And we just go down. My last coin is on 40. It is 40 cents. Okay, so pretty easy. Dimes, nickels, and pennies. So here, I'm gonna move it over. So the kids always start with the highest amount, and typically, or really always, I send the worksheet with the highest amount, with the coins already in order. Okay, so we know that dimes go down. We're going to start with 10. So we'll put it on our 10, and we're going to draw our line. Okay, 20, we're drawing our line. 30, we draw our line. 40, draw our line. 50, draw our line. Okay, So now we're at nickels, and we know that with nickels it's yellow, blue, yellow, blue. So here we're on blue, so it's going to be yellow. What is our next yellow? 55. So we have 55. We're going to draw our line. 60, draw a line. 65, 70, 75, 80, 85. Now we have our pennies, and pennies just, what's next? We're here at 85. We're going, what's next? 86, 87, 88, 89. We have 89 cents to teach counting quarters. And counting quarters up to $1. And that's what the round circles are for. Okay. And these are pretty, again, when it's counting light coins, the kids have a really easy with, or the kids are able to do this a lot easier. And with quarters, our symbol is just the black circle. So you start with 25. They're going to start from the top. You can draw the lines if you want. 50, 75, $1. Pretty easy. The only thing you might want to just watch out for is that they start from the top. Some kids might go 25 and their hand is here, so they can't see that there's a 50 right there. You can see it because the camera's above, but even right now with me sitting, I put this 50 down. I mean this 25, this quarter down, I can't see 50. So they might do that. And you're like, no. Make sure you scan going down and not skip 50. So when they only have 2 quarters, they don't write 75 cents, if that makes sense. So now let's put it all together and count coins to $1. Here, we're going to do, let's do number 2 because we have all the coins in here. We are going to, our quarter is the black circles, so 25, and I'll use the marker for this. Oh, let me scoot it over. There we go. 25. All right, another quarter goes to 50. All right, and then we have dimes. Dimes go down. I'm not going to start at 10 because I crossed that out. Dimes go down, and we can remember that because dime starts with D. Dimes go down. So we have 60, 70, 80, 90. Now we have our nickel. We're not going to put it on 5 because that 5 is crossed out. We stopped at 90, which is blue. So our next color, we go back to yellow. So we're at 90. Our next yellow is 95. Cross that out. And then our pennies are what's next. 95, 96, 97, 98. And we have 98 cents. So the goal of this is for the kids to be able to actually use their fingers and not the actual money to count. And I'll show you what that looks like. But for now, until they get to that point, they're more than welcome to use the money. So the goal is for them to have their money worksheet, and then for them to have their mat, and they'll say, okay, 25, 26, 27, 28 to use their finger, or 25, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 96, 97, 98 for them to do that. Some students, once they get past the finger phase, they can just look at it and say 25, 26, 27, 28, or 25, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 96, 97, 98. They can just count in their heads like that. So some students are counting past $1, and when they're doing that, you will need this extra sheet. I typically just have my kids count up to $5 because after that you can just use the $5 bill. I have these circles, so I'm just going to show you a quick example. How can I fit all of this in the frame? So let's say that I had 4 quarters. And I have it, let's say I had 5 quarters, $1.25, okay? So I'm going to put it on 25, put it on 50, put it on 75, put it on $1. I'm not gonna put this coin on top of this because I'm gonna get confused. But I know this is $1. So this sheet helps me to count how many dollars I have. So I have $1, I'm gonna take everything off of this, put it in my dollar circle, and then I have my clean board, and I can take my quarter and put it down. So I know I have $1.25. And that's the same thing if you have multiple coins. All right, so let's say that I have all of this money that I want to count. So I have 25, and remember, again, they can use the pen. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, $1, okay? I'm at $1, so I'm going to take all of this and put it in my dollar circle. Okay. And then my board is clear. Then I'm going to start at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28. I have $1.28. Okay. Sometimes, depending on how much money you have, you might not end exactly on $1. You might end on $1.05. Let's say that we have this, and I have another dime. Oh, let me go. All right. I have another dime. I can't go down because there's nothing. Here, I can't go down because there's nothing here. But I know I'm at 95. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down, essentially going up. But I have to know that this is $1. So everything under here is $1.05. Then I can finish adding my other money. $1.05, $1.10, $1.15, 16, 17, 18. When it doesn't end exactly on $1, it can get a little bit confusing for the kids, but remember, just have them put it to the top, clear their board, put it in the circle, and then keep going. And that is how I have developed a way to teach the kids to count money. The kids really like using money. They know that money is used to buy things. And they feel smart. They don't have to be able to hold it in their hands to count it, but they're still counting money. So that's a win for everybody. If you have any questions, let me know.